Alright guys, welcome back to the villain objective for the Ordeal. I went with APOC, Sinister, Serpent, Count Nefaria, and Deathless She-Hulk. Now, I watched like Vega's stream today, and he was running a very similar team, but abusing the crap out of Mr. Sinister, who I didn't use, I think, a single time. Okay, I was really just brought in Sinister to give Apocalypse the 4 charges, because I used to run 6-star Apocalypse in the Gauntlet and it did extremely well with him, so I kind of went back to what I was used to, along with like who I had sprinkled in some Ordeal fights in the past. So like Serpent and Nefaria was someone I had never used before. Deathless She-Hulk I had previously used, so I was comfortable with her. And again, I happen to have on this account a 7-star Apocalypse unawakened, so I can't gain any extra healing in between fights. But for this Doom fight, I basically can take advantage of the fact that I have Mr. Sinister on the team to give me 4 charges at the beginning. I can attack into his block to get a stun, to get like the stun and then the heavy to refresh my debuffs. I do a special 1, a special 2, then refresh all those debuffs with a special 3, and then you've got those permanent, or you make them permanent with a special 3, and then you just rinse and repeat. He's melting the entire time from the damage over time, and it is a fun time. Eventually it will also help shut off his aura and makes this fight pretty easy. I know again, watching some other guys with Sinister can do this one really quickly, but I had a lot of fun with Apocalypse in this one. So I will run through each fight a little bit, and then the fights are going to be sped up. I'll let the music play out. You can watch all the fights in their entirety, even though they're sped up, but it's a lot of gameplay packed into still like an hour video. But if you want to see each one, I will go through each individual fight, tell you what my strategy was for each one and what worked. I ended up getting solos on every single fight up until Nameless Thanos. I've soloed Nameless Thanos with Apocalypse before, got all the way to the last phase, and then screwed up and ended up having, like, threw everyone at him, wasn't getting my intercepts, weren't working very well, and ended up using a couple of like 2 expiring single revives on Serpent just to finish it off. So it worked really well. I'll let you know what I did for each fight, but we'll let the music play out for the rest of the Doom one, and then we'll head over to the next fight. All right, next fight is Terrax. I used Count Nefaria. He was phenomenal for this one, just high energy resistance. You can just keep basically spamming specials the entire time. Just be careful not to push him too hard when his power bar does drain all the way down to 0. But Count Nefaria, super hard counter here, works phenomenal. I did do some testing where I did get a really good run. Possible, I think I even got a solo with Serpent, you know, playing a bit slower, but you can be really aggressive with Count Nefaria. It works really well. You can get the healing on the special 1, some big damage on the special 2, and you're doing a phenomenal job of sustainability on this one. So easy fight with Count Nefaria. Next up is Vision. He's going to go Special 1, Special 2, then Special 3, so you need someone who can put a taunt on in order to make him throw those specials or some power control. Deathless She-Hulk has her trauma debuffs, which act as a taunt, so the more you put on, the more likely he is to throw a special, so very easy fight with Deathless She-Hulk. Next up, we have MCOC. We're going to use Apocalypse here. He does have the Hard Knock Life, which is going to put a Disorient on you, but Apocalypse is one of those few champions that can get Disorient immunity. So we're just going to get those, do a couple parries, and all this, after a few seconds, we are immune to Disorient, so we can just parry heavy and do our regular, normal Apocalypse shenanigans. Just make sure you don't hit into him when he has his charges up, like his Steadfast. Just go ahead and make sure you knock him down. But other than that, it is pretty straightforward. I do the same Apocalypse rotation on this one, and Special 1, Special 2, Special 3, make him permanent and have a lot of fun. Apocalypse shreds MCOC. All right, next up is the debuff immune Spider-Ham. In previous iterations of this run in Gauntlet, I used Apocalypse and just brute forced it, but eventually got full 100 evade immunity with Apocalypse, and then helped me for other fights like Mixmaster Korg and Nightcrawler and Spider-Gwen. But here just took it easy and went with Serpent. You just get one special one-off, and then you're completely don't have to worry about the evades for the rest of the fight. You just have to be careful if you do get hit, and which happens to me I think one or two times. If you do get hit and then he puts a power sting on you, you just have to be careful that your evade immunity is gone until you throw another special to get your True Sense active. Other than that, Serpent makes really easy work of what could be a very tricky fight with Spider-Ham. All right, next up is Weapon X. I think I actually did a test with this on another account that I plan on bringing Absorbing Man with. And Absorbing Man gives She-Hulk a bleed immunity as well, I think, with the synergy. But even still, I decided to go with Deathless She-Hulk for Weapon X here. The only thing I have to worry about is those few moments when he does get the unblockable and the unstoppable. The unstoppable is the main thing, and if you can, he's aggressive, so it's easier to get those intercepts in. I'm used to doing that. When I do like the Viv fight against him, so I'm used to fighting Weapon X here, but the traumas build up a lot. You're hitting really hard. You can totally outdo the damage. I could have played. Your damage can outdo the healing, and it's really not that bad. But you have to be very aggressive, and you're gonna have to go through the cycle a couple times where here, like, it's on cooldown. You have to wait until his charges come back, and then make sure you're careful when you push him to his 25 charges that I prefer to keep him like above, between like 15 and 25 or 13 and 25, where if he throws a special, he's going to go into his berserker mode, and then you can get your openings. I do get hit at one point, but luckily I don't die from the bleeds. I had just enough health in the tank to get through it, so another solo with She-Hulk. Next up was one of the longer fights for me. The Thing fight is very annoying. I probably could have used lots of different champions for it. I went with Deathless She-Hulk, and you just have to keep track of its rock stacks. And there are a couple times where I think I messed up counting my rock stacks, and it got a little too dicey. But really, anyone can do it as long as you're paying attention to the charges. He is going to rotate between, being very defensive and in the armor up phase, and then being really aggressive when he has the fury. So you just got to time up your counting to make sure that you push him to 15, like I did right there, and it's not so bad. But very long fight, so I'm going to let it play out, and we'll see you at the next one. All right, next up is Korg, and I'm going to take this one again with Apocalypse. He has Mixmaster, Flux Dispersal, so I'm not going to be I'm going to be gaining my evade charges in this one if I do the same attack more than one time. I'm going to try and still go with light attacks to remove the shield, then go ahead and like to remove his rock stacks, then go ahead and get my special 1 and 2 off, but only after I remove the rock stack. So I'm at 3 here, shield is shattered. Then I'm going to go ahead and drop my special 2 first. Special 2 has the concussion on it, so it's going to reduce ability accuracy, so that's always helpful to get first. And then I'm going to again try and remove the shield, and then go for the heavy, refresh the debuffs, and go for the same. I should have gone for the special 1, but I got pushed past it to special 2. So at this point, I just figured, what the heck, we'll just go ahead and get the debuffs on the special 3 here. So I refresh them just at the last second, drop my special 3, and now we get back into the swing of things. We've got the stronger concussion, and then I go for the special 1, and then I'm able to keep up my debuffs for the rest of the fight. So you can see I was at 0 evade charges. Now I'm at 30, so there's I think by the end of it I end up at like maybe 50% of my evade charges, but I'm not trying to actively to gain them. In previous runs I gained all my charges on Spider Ham on purpose with Apocalypse when I used him for Gauntlet, and then by the time I got here it made that fight this fight a lot easier. But still, Apocalypse absolutely wrecked through this Korg. Now we're in a pretty good run, so I'll let the rest of the fight play out, and we'll see you at the next one. All right, next up is Dragon Man. We're going to do very similar things that we did against Vision with Deathless She-Hulk, but we're also going to focus on getting the special 2s up because I get the Wither, so that when he does have his power gain, he is not going to be able to gain as much. You can also block a hit of the special 1 when he has the power gain to remove it, so I'm also being conscious of that. You know, maybe take a blocked hit here or there on purpose just at the end of the special 1 if he has the power gain active. If he doesn't have it active, then I'll just try and evade the entire thing. If he does have it, then I'll try and take a couple hits on the block just to remove that power gain. And another nice solo with Deathless She-Hulk. All right, next up is Black Panther Civil War, and this one's going to be a long, slow but steady serpent fight. There's Armored Assault, Footloose, and Arc Overload. He is going to be unblockable. He's going to be getting that Unstoppable and the Evade charge. I can't really attack him. I have nothing to do when he throws a special, because then he's going to gain the evade charge. I doesn't bother me, but I don't want to parry him because I don't want to deal with any of the reflected damage. So it's really just a weighted out attack into his block, build power with Serpent. So slow and steady with Serpent, attack into his block, get those specials off when you can. You can attack in as long as if he has his regen and the unblockable, it's not the end of the world. You'll eventually get through the damage. Serpent's just going to ramp up the longer the fight goes. I do get hit in the face a couple times, which is not great. You can see here I kind of had to throw a block and take a few hits, but then we got another unblockable special and we got back into a good routine. So it was a little bit dicey here at the very beginning. Used a striker there to try and get myself an opening, push him over back to the right side, and then we get back into the swing of things. And luckily, everything worked out. It was just very, very long, but Serpent did get me the solo. So you can watch the rest of the fight, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, the next two fights are going to be Nightcrawler and Spider-Gwen, and both of them are just going to be easy, two more easy Serpent fights, because once you get one special one off, there's nothing else to worry about. Obviously, in the Spider-Gwen one, you don't want to parry, and I think I might have even accidentally parried in this one, but still managed to get through it and get the solo with Serpent. So that's the next two fights, so you can watch them both. They're pretty straightforward. Once you get going with Serpent, you throw one special one, you get like the true focus, and you don't have to worry about the evades for the rest of the fight. So that's all it is. So two easy Serpent fights. And if you have noticed, I have healed up in between fights for some of these because, for example, Domino, I know I'm going to take some, some unavoidable damage, but Apocalypse is going to come in. We're going to build up to some special 2s. By letting her throw a special, every time she throws a special, we're going to gain a bar of power. So that's what we need to do. I don't have to worry so much about her evade because we are at like 50 at the moment, but I still think she can evade, but every time she does, you can see that a nice evade fail on the side here. So Apocalypse, not at 100 yet, but again, if in my old way of doing it, I would have had him at 100 already, but here it's fine. We can still build up some evade charges as we go if we need to, but we're just going to go ahead, big specials, do tons of damage with Apocalypse, and we're just going to keep spamming as much as we can. There, we get a couple more evade charges, up to 50. Take a shot to the face, but it's fine. We're going to drop a big old special 2 here, and she is almost cooked. So I think one more special is all we need, and I'm happy to get through it. So just absolutely nuke it with Apocalypse. And then the next fight that we've got is going to be Mojo, and Count Nefaria is just an absolute menace against Mojo. Hardly took any damage. His resistances are so good. So a really nice fight with Count Nefaria. Really nothing to worry about. He absolutely crushes this one. There were a couple times where I took some special 2 evades, blocked a little bit of it, evaded the rest of it. Sometimes went for the full evade, but really it was a little, it wasn't the fastest fight, but super clean, super safe with Count Nefaria against Mojo. All right, next up for Mortal Abomination, we are going to use Deathless She-Hulk again. Nothing too crazy. Again, similar thing. Just don't let him go to special 2. I just kept baiting a lot of special 1s. You can actually get some nice willpower healing on this one, even though, again, these fights are a couple minutes each, and I kind of lost focus at one point. Had gotten a bunch of willpower healing, then got hit a few times, but then got some willpower healing at the end. But really, you're just building up those trauma debuffs on him. Every time he throws another special, he refreshes them. You're just hitting harder every single time. So pretty straightforward fight with She-Hulk. Okay, next up for Apocalypse, I'm going to use Serpent. And the main thing here that I'm doing with Serpent is pushing Apocalypse to a special 2. And as long as I'm pushing him to a special 2, then I don't feel so bad about the block damage. I can get a full evade on the special 2 as long as I give myself a lot of distance. If I don't give myself enough distance, I find myself getting hit by it. And the beginning of this fight, I wasn't doing great on my distance, but eventually throughout the fight I'm able to properly get a full evade. There I got a nice full one to start, but I think I screwed it up a couple times and then got back into a good rhythm. But I'm just going to hit into the block, get my nice specials into the block, work great. Try and hold block after I throw my special to try and force him into a heavy so I can get him back to a special 2. You can see here I wasn't getting the full evade on that special 2 for a couple of them next ones in a row, but then I get my bearings and I get a nice clean solo with Serpent here. So most of it is mainly just avoiding a ton of block damage by forcing him to throw special 2s instead of special 1s, because I still don't know how to evade the entire special 1. So in that regard, special 2 definitely the way to go. So another nice solo with Serpent. All right, next up is Sasquatch. Lots of options for this team. I've done Sasquatch with Apocalypse before. I'm sure I could have done him with She-Hulk, Deathless She-Hulk here, but instead I went with Count Nefaria and just tried to knock him down a bunch of times. Count Nefaria can help with the power gain. He can help with the healing at the end of the fight. You do have to play around Wrath a little bit, but really it wasn't that bad. It was a long fight, and at the end I almost screwed up because I decided to try and build to a special 3 and then knock him down at the very end. And when the timer was on cooldown, then go ahead and drop the special 3 to kill him. So that was my plan here. But at the very end, I kind of got myself turned around in a circle, but did manage to get out of it, got the knockdown, and then threw the special 3 to finish the fight. But for the most part, nothing too crazy, pretty straightforward fight with Count Nefaria. All right, we're getting to the home stretch here. We've got Apocalypse for this Polka Dot Power Sharpened Claws Killmonger. So at the moment, I'm not bleed immune yet, but I think if I take a hit on the block, I'm going to get some bleeds. After a few seconds with the bleeds, I'm going to be bleed immune for the rest of the fight, so I can parry him no problem. You do have to worry about how many debuffs you are putting on Killmonger. So you're going to see I'm going to go parry heavies until he gets to 2 bars of power as I try and build up mine, and then I'm going to let him throw that special 2. And then I can throw my special 2 without worrying about pushing him to a special 3. And now I'm just going to do the same Apocalypse rotation we've done every single time, which is special 2, special 1, special 3, to then lock in all 4 debuffs, and keep parry heavying in between in order to refresh them until they are permanent after the special 3. So another straightforward fight with Apocalypse. He absolutely shredded this Killmonger. Next up, we have Void. I'm going to do this one with Serpent. This one just has Power Shield. I just have to keep an eye on his intimidating debuffs, and keep your distance, because as soon as you get too close to him, then you are going to get a debuff on you, and you get that weakness, and you want to back away. So in order to get it off of you, because of long distance relationship, but then at the same time you have to be aware of your combo meter in case he gets that intimidating debuff on you. You want to remove it with every 10th hit. So it wasn't too bad. I don't think I had to use my immortality on this one. I think I did get it down before that, but Serpent just did a really nice job. I know you can do this one. I could have done this one with Apocalypse. I'm sure there are lots of options. I'm pretty sure Mr. Sinister absolutely shreds so many of these fights, but I did not use him for any of them, mainly because I just never really got into Mr. Sinister, and I don't think I've got him ranked up. I think he's only a rank 2 here, but I'm sure he would have still done a great job. But again, you can watch the rest of this one. Serpent definitely got the job done for me. The last fight on the path is a Nick Fury before the boss. And the Lionheart node, where when I put on like some of the poisons and debuffs from like special 1 or 2, are gonna actually give me a little bit of degen because of the Lionheart node. So it was a little silly there, but still got it through. Mr. Sinister could have been a better option for me here, but Apocalypse still did the job. I still was able to do my regular rotation for the first part of the fight, and it worked out fine. You are a mutant against Nick Fury, so that always makes it easier to keep tabs of his tactical charges. I did get hit a little bit when he was unblockable in the second life, but again, it's just a big Nick Fury fight, so nothing too crazy. But and I didn't play that well, even I wasn't getting the good evade at the end of his special 1 encounter, so not my best performance on this one. So and then I did end up wasting a bunch of potions healing back up because I wanted to use Apocalypse for Nameless Thanos. So not the best performance here, but still got the solo. So we soloed every fight on the path. Did use some potions to heal up in between, but solos on everything. And then I'll show you what I did for Nameless Thanos, which was not my best performance. Almost soloed him, but made a few mistakes. But I'll show you what those are when we get to Nameless Thanos. Last but not least, we're going to get to Nameless Thanos. And I've soloed Nameless Thanos before with Apocalypse and was kind of disappointed that we didn't get the solo here. But we did get to the final phase, and I just made a mistake at the beginning of the final phase and got hit right away. Instead of getting the intercept, I probably should have taken my time, but I was rushing there. But for the most part, the beauty of this fight is you can go in with Apocalypse and get your full 4 debuffs and get them permanent early on in the first two phases, and then they just stay on the rest of the fight. And during the evade phase, if you're maxed out at your evade charges, you don't have to worry about that at all. So he basically counters everything. He counters the bleed phase here, he counters the evade phase, he counters pretty much everything. But something that I did not know, that I could have run Deathless She-Hulk, and with the special 2 and the Wither, in between phases when he's like gaining his power, he just won't gain any power like at all, and you can basically just heavy spam him in the corner after dropping a special 2. So that is something that I did not know at all, because I don't go ahead and do random gauntlet and ordeal runs all the time. I just do it the one time when it comes out. So I do have the 2 accounts, but I never did that trick before. So that was really cool to see. But I was really happy with Apocalypse. We get all the way to the last phase without any issues whatsoever. Lots of holding block and forcing him to heavies, just absolutely shredding him the entire time. And then in the final phase where you need to intercept him in order to put on the protection on yourself, I screwed up. Basically threw everything but the kitchen sink at him. I wasn't getting my evade in and ended up having to use like 2 expiring revives on Serpent to finish it off. So you can watch the rest of that, including my horrible performance at the very end of the fight, but still got it down, and I was pretty happy with the 20 out of 21 solos. So hopefully you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can always let me know in the comments. Let me know who you used for your team. I'm sure there's some different stuff. I do not have Apocalypse on my other account, so I'll probably be doing one with a similar team but bringing in Onslaught instead. So we'll see. I might have some different choices to make on the other account, but I'll probably do that one separately. But for now, explanations of every fight. If you need help with anything, let me know in the comments, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.